Hey there!
Hello.
Hi, this is Brian and Christina from Your HealthySteps, and we are the creators of the Ultimate Foam Roller Blueprint.
That's it.
And we love teaching foam rolling and self-care skills. And today we are discussing a very cool muscle group. I'm excited about it. Yeah, so we want you to be active and pain-free and healthy so you can do the things that you love to do. So we're not medical doctors. We're not diagnosing, treating, or prescribing. This is for educational purposes only. And we're giving you 15 years of experiences as massage therapists, and we've worked with a wide variety of clients. We've worked with, Brian's worked with professional athletes, collegiate athletes, semi-professional athletes, highly active adults. I've worked on grandmas and grandpas and kids.
Active adults and some professionals.
Yeah, so a wide variety of clients. And so today and tomorrow, we're going to be sharing information about a muscle group. And so when this muscle group gets really tight, it can, listen to this, so many things. It can create referrals that mimic tennis elbow, carpal tunnel syndrome, back pain, shoulder pain, arm pain, and headache. It's a major contributing factor in thoracic outlet syndrome.
We'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute.
Yes, and it can also create your fingers or cause your fingers and your hands and even your arms to swell.
Yeah.
It also plays a huge role in our posture and in breathing. So stay tuned because we're going to share with you this muscle group, right? And what you can do about it. So I don't forget, we always teach very fun, informative classes. And so we have one every month. So if you want to be notified of when our next class is coming up, where you can learn practical hands-on self-care skills, just click that link and add your email, and we'll send you a notification of when our next class is going to be.
These are free classes that we offer every month. They're fantastic.
Okay, so you're next.
Okay, well, so it was interesting when me and Christina were in massage school many years ago. We had some fantastic instructors, and I just remember them saying that you will see out there that there's a lot of therapists that when they have a client coming in who's complaining of neck pain or tightness in the neck and sore neck and shoulders being tight and the upper back being tight, they will always work back here. And that's really what the client wants. The client says, I'm tight, I'm sore, I want this loosened, right? And they were saying, look, you can give temporary relief, but you can't solve the problem unless you deal with the front. And at first it was interesting. Everybody's like, really? Like, how is that possible? And so they went on to explain why that was possible. And so really when you are, and most of us are sitting, they're on computers, on cell phones, all this type of stuff. We're all in this rounded posture, and that creates tightness in the front. It's tight chest muscles, tight upper arm muscles, and what we're going to talk about today is tight neck muscles, the front of your neck, and that's where these muscles reside. And but it's just interesting. I mean, that was something back in 2004. They were telling us, this is where you need to go to first. Then go back and you can solve the stuff in the back. So that's what we did. That's what we've always done, Okay. So we were going to show you some bad posture and give you a better idea. But I guess I should say what the muscles. These are called the scalene muscles. And I'll give you where they're located out here in just a minute and all that good stuff. But how does this posture affect these muscles? So how does the stuff in the front create problems back here? Well, so we're going to show you what the typical rounded shoulder head forward posture is when people are sitting on a computer, and this is it. You've got that rounded shoulder here and that head is forward. And just imagine that now everything in the front has compressed. And so anything in the front is going to be compromised. And then so that's all the stuff in the front, all the muscles in the front have shortened and have gotten very tight, which makes it very difficult for us to get back into good posture because we're really tight here. But then all the stuff in the back, that stuff is elongated or it's stretched and it's weakened. And that's where the anger comes from. It's angry because it's stretched to a point of snapping, but it's stretched a long ways. And it's been sitting in that position for a long time, and that's why it's gotten angry. But the tightness, the really severe tightness, is actually coming from the front. The inhibiting tightness is in the front. So this is a posture we want to get out of. This is not a good posture at all. Okay, so what are these muscles that we were talking about, these scalene muscles? Well, that's what they are. They are scalene muscles, and actually Christina is going to show you their location here. Okay, so again, you know, there's other muscles that get tight because of this rounded shoulder, head forward posture, but these are really some big ones. They create some serious problems. So there are, for 60% of the population, 3 scalene muscles. There's an anterior one, which is this guy right here. Then there's a middle one, which is right here, and a posterior one. And then there's another one in about 40% of the population called scalene minimus. So this is anterior, middle, posterior, and then there's minimus. And they basically come off the cervical spine, basically the second cervical spine, all the way down to the 7th. And what I mean by the cervical spine is this, your neck, your neck spine, the spine of the neck. And so it's second, it's about 7, and then it's running down, and you'll notice there's a gap right here because that's Christina's clavicle, and it goes underneath the clavicle. They either attach at the first rib or the second rib over here. So that's why they can cause compromise, because there are arteries, nerves, and lymph nodes or lymph that is running down also in the same direction as the scalene. So they travel that same direction. So when this gets tight, they can get compromised. But that's the general location of the scalene muscles. Where we're at here. So what do these scalene muscles do? Well, you know, I want to make a point. I was asked this question the other day. Or is it only on one side? And so no, this is, in this particular instance, it's, you have these 3 scalenes or 4, depending, on both sides of your neck. So that's going to help us determine what these muscles do. So the anterior one here can actually lift up the rib cage and or pull the head down forward. Okay, so again, just that movement. It's either going to lift the ribs up, especially during breathing, and they're working together. And on the separate side, each side works by pulling your head toward the shoulder, like that, or they will rotate the head in the opposite direction. So that's the movement that these muscles do. And again, we could go into a whole much more detail about all this movement and stuff, but the key here is we don't want this area tight. And I would say a large percentage of the people that walk in our door, they're really, really, really tight.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let's see, I was trying to think of where we were going to go from that. We sort of mentioned where they were at, what they do.
So when they're tight, right? When they're tight, what happens is that they're continually pulling the head in that posture. They're going to contribute, and they're going to hold that head forward posture.
Absolutely. And they make it very, very difficult for us to get back into good posture. I think that's the biggest point, is that, you know, people say, I don't know how can I stay in posture? Well, you can't really until you get this worked on and loosened up.
Right. Yeah. So, and then the other big thing, which I think is, you know, Brian mentioned that here's the clavicle, right? So we have the nerves and the lymph vessels passing in between the clavicle and the ribs. So in my head, what I see is these muscles getting so tight, right, that they can actually be pinching and squishing the lymph vessels and the nerves, and they're squishing it in between the clavicle and the ribs. So
and that whole area just gets fascial. It's just, everything gets compromised.
Right.
Everything gets tightened. So a lot of times when you go in here and work on somebody, you don't just feel the tightness in the muscle. It's tight all the way along either side, below the clavicle and above the clavicle. It's just amazingly tight, almost like a stone in there.
Yeah. So what we'd like you to do is, if there's somebody that you know who is dealing with, you know, a poor posture that they're trying to work on, maybe they're having some funky feelings in their fingers, tingling, or swelling, excuse me, send them this video, because this could be a solution. It could be helpful for them to know about this. Tomorrow
we're going to be going into more detail about what are some of the symptoms, what are some of the problems, and then what can be done.
Right. So yeah, catch tomorrow's video because we're also going to be sharing about referral patterns.
Yeah.
Yes, and the crazy referral patterns.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll catch you tomorrow. Remember, share this with somebody you think is going to benefit from it. And then click on the link above, toss in your email, and we'll send you a notification of when we're having our next free online class.
Online class.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. God.